The second stimulus check and the second stimulus package wait is almost over. If you guys have been waiting like I have, then the wait is about done. As of tomorrow, Congress can finally approve the second stimulus package, and I expect them to do that very shortly. So let's talk more about it. What's up, YouTube? This is Casey, and welcome back to the channel. So this is your second stimulus update and second stimulus package update as of July 20th. So without further ado, let's just kind of hop into this. So the Congress is set to come back from their recess tomorrow. And that's great news because there are still millions of Americans that are waiting to finally get their second stimulus check. Not only is the second stimulus check important, but also the second stimulus unemployment amount getting extended is very important. For a lot of Americans, that is set to actually expire the 25th, which is the end of this week, which is a concern because there were an additional 6 days that, that were still left in the month, but it's not going to calculate because the way that the unemployment works gets calculated at the end of the week, and the end of the week ends the following week, actually ends in August. And so for millions of Americans, this is going to be the last week that they're going to get the additional $600 unemployment amount, which is a big concern. So with Congress coming back Monday, many people are expected the second stimulus package to finally be approved. Now, there's still a lot of speculation going on with what's going to be in the package or what isn't, but for the most part, there seems to be a couple of last items that they're still harping over, the Republicans and the Democrats, to determine what's going to be in the package and to get it finalized. So as of right now, we know that the Republicans are trying to trim down the original $3 trillion package that the Democrats approved in the middle of May. They're trying to trim that down to $1 trillion. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, and it is, but when you think about that this is going to be going towards the entire economy, that's not a very good deal, because that means we're going to get less stimulus checks. That means it's going to be lower amounts. It means they're going to lower the approved amounts for your incomes, and that means they're also going to probably reduce the employment benefits, and just a host of other things. The Democrats want to make this $3 trillion, and they want to not only give the $1,200, but they want to increase the dependent amounts and so forth. So as of right now, the main things that they're still harping over is the amount of the second stimulus check, but also the unemployment aid that they want to provide, which is the unemployment benefits that we've talked about, and oddly enough, school funding. I mean, what is there to argue about with school funding? I mean, don't we want to ensure that schools are funded well in this whole COVID situation? Now, in reading over, actually on one of the top websites, reading over a lot of the details that are set to get approved in the second stimulus package, I saw something that was very concerning that I really hope is not going to get passed. Because if it does get passed, this could really mean a lot of problems for us as citizens and us as workers. And that's something that the Republicans are trying to pass called the Liability shield. Now, what this is they're trying to throw this in the package to where it's a five-year shield for employers that, and when I underline this, that negligently expose customers and workers to the coronavirus. And what that basically means is that it's going to limit their legal exposure, at least according to the draft obtained by the Associated Press. This would protect not only businesses, but schools, colleges, charities, and so forth, that they recommend follow the public health guidelines to ensure that their businesses and establishments are cleaned. And also for the frontline workers, well, it's going to absolve them from any legal liability responsibility if they don't follow the guidelines to keep their establishments clean. Now, this is a problem because that basically means is that you could be walking into an establishment that is not that does not meet certain cleaning requirements, and if they don't meet the CDC cleaning requirements, or at least the requirements based on this package, then you can't sue them. And or if you're an employee and if you get sick and you find out that they haven't cleaned the building in a month or 2 months or what have you, you can't sue them. Which to me is just completely ridiculous because this absolves businesses from actual negligence. And they actually specifically stated that in the upcoming package, at least that was the word that was used, this absolves businesses from negligence for 5 years. That's a huge, huge problem, right? So as of right now, people are already fighting over trying to get the second stimulus package. Now, people are also fighting over trying to get the approved unemployment amount. We still have over 30 plus million Americans that are unemployed right now. there's still this second wave of corona that keeps coming and going, coming and going. We don't know whether we're open or closing right now. And now here they are trying to absolve businesses. Not only are the Republicans trying to aggressively open up businesses, but they're trying to then absolve them from actually receiving responsibility for keeping the business establishments clean. That's a problem. They are still discussing tax credits to help companies shoulder the cost of safely reopening schools, offices, and so forth. So that's a good thing that can help incentivize companies to get everyone back to work. But the legal liability shield, that's a big issue. Now, I know that everyone has been waiting very patiently with this unemployment benefits amount, if that's going to get extended. I know everyone has been waiting very patiently with the second stimulus check as well. As of right now, McConnell says that they do plan, at least they likely plan, another round of $1,200 direct payments. So if McConnell is saying that they're planning another round of $1,200, that's a good sign, because they would be the people who would stop that from being approved. So that basically means that that's going to take place. But the next question I think comes down to is what are the salary requirements going to be, the limitations. So he initially threw out $40,000, which we've been hearing a lot, which is very depressing. I've read recently, as of today, that that's probably not going to be the limit. As you guys know, before it was up to a much higher limit than that. And so my guess is they're going to probably meet somewhere in between, maybe it's $65,000, $70,000. So I think the majority of Americans are still going to get the second stimulus check for $1,200, and we needed it like yesterday, right? So as of right now, if they end up approving the stimulus package this week, it's going to take a week or two to go into effect. The federal government was going to start issuing these checks out probably the first week of August. If you guys haven't already, I highly encourage you to make sure that you have your direct deposit information on file with the IRS. Normally I wouldn't tell you that, right? Because you don't know if you owe money or whatnot. But in this particular case, you want to make sure you have that, because if you don't, that's going to significantly delay the process with you getting this second round of stimulus checks. So if you're one of those people that did not get a stimulus check automatically deposited to your checking account because they didn't have your address, or because they didn't have your checking account information, or whatever the issues may be, please make sure that they have your latest information so that you can get that check as soon as they get it approved. It's a hell of a lot easier to just wake up in the morning and see that they deposited $1,200 in your account than it is to sit there and have to go to the mail every single day for 2 or 3 weeks only to find out that it got lost and yada, yada, yada. So make sure you guys have that up to date. Keep in mind that right now, we are in a very uncertain time with the economy. The coronavirus is still breaking out. The stock market is at all-time highs. However, the stocks are finally starting to roll over, at least from the tech side. And so, right now, we don't know whether we're coming or going. Are we out of recession? Are we in a recession? And I think, in my personal opinion, right now, we're absolutely in a recession. It's not even close. There's no clear definitive plan to get Americans back to work. We don't know whether the coronavirus is going to replicate or not. We don't have a clear definitive plan whether we're opening or closing the economy. We don't know how we're going to transition people back into the workforce. We have the default mortgages that have gone up significantly, and also defaults for rates as of last month, even with the original stimulus package money that was provided. And so we're in a very, very choppy time right now because we just have so many uncertain things. And so I really think the Congress needs to get off their butt, and they need to get this approved ASAP as of tomorrow. Right? So they've taken their recess, they've taken their vacations in their Malibu homes or wherever the hell they are, and it's time to take care of the American people, the 30, 40 million Americans that help keep the backbone of America running on a regular basis. And that obviously also includes our frontline workers and our essential workers that are keeping our banks going, and our hospitals and our grocery stores and our waiters and waitresses and everyone else that I forgot to mention. So they need to get off their butt. They need to get this approved. We needed it yesterday. And so hopefully they do get it approved. If they do, and as soon as we find, I should say when they do, and as soon as we find out the information, I'm going to make sure that I upload a video as soon as possible so that you guys have the latest information as to the definitive amounts, as to when that's going to get sent out, and as to what the requirements are and the stipulations and so forth. But if the original package is any type of indication, I do think they are going to make it semi-generous, at least from what Donald Trump said a few weeks back. So Hang on there, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for watching the video. I know we're all waiting very patiently, but the wait is going to be very over here in the next coming days. So if you haven't already, please make sure that you guys like the video. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, this is a financial education channel, so you guys have found a diamond in the rough. I talk a lot about not only stimulus check packages and the updates, but also a lot about stock analysis with the stock market, how to invest, where to invest, how much you guys should invest in, and just also a lot of things with just how to save money, how to make money, and just psychologies and things of that nature of anything dealing with money and investing. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you in the next video. Take care.